Hi, my name is Michael Burgis. I'm the managing attorney of MB&A. I'm also a certified legal specialist in California workers' compensation. I wanted to make a brief video to explain really the differences between a work-related injury and an injury that occurs outside of the workplace. Essentially, it comes down to damages and what you have to prove in each of those cases. In California workers' compensation, we don't have to prove negligence. If the injury arose out of and was within the course of your employment, it's a valid workers' comp claim. You don't have to prove negligence. In fact, the injured worker could have been negligent himself. So the good thing about a workers' comp case, we don't have to prove negligence. As long as the injury was work-related, doesn't matter. In a civil case, you do have to prove negligence generally. In a workers' comp case, the compensation is statutorily set. Generally, it's about $290 per week currently if you're under 100% disabled. And the greater your overall disability, the longer the duration of those payments, but it's generally a much smaller number. And you get future medical left open. So the compensation in a workers' comp case, very limited, versus a civil case where you can theoretically be made whole. What that means is you can be compensated for compensatory damages. You can get lost wages, pain, suffering. Theoretically, you can be made whole monetarily in a civil claim. So the big difference between a workers' comp case versus a civil case is one, liability. We don't have to prove negligence in a workers' comp case, but we also get limited damages, statutorily set, versus a civil case where you do have to prove a much greater burden to prove negligence, but the damages are not limited. Now, ultimately, if the injury arose out of and was in the course of employment, we are statutorily limited to a workers' comp case via what's called the exclusive remedy rule. However, there are some times to get around the exclusive remedy rule, and if you do have a valid work-related injury, there may also be a viable third-party case where you can basically have the best of both worlds. You can work your workers' compensation case up and potentially get civil damages and essentially get the greater of the two. If you have any questions about whether you have a valid workers' comp case or whether it's a valid civil case and what the respective damages are for each, feel free to give us a call. We're standing by. If you have questions, we have the answers.